Why does the Mormon Church teach that we can be married in heaven when Jesus said in Matthew 22:30 that in the resurrection men neither marry nor are they given in marriage? Do Joseph Smith's teachings trump the words of Jesus himself?
Question 31. Why does the Mormon Church teach that we can be married in heaven when Jesus said in Matthew 22, verse 30, that in the resurrection men neither marry nor are given in marriage? Do Joseph Smith's teachings trump the words of Jesus himself? Okay, first of all, on that last part, no, they do not. However, they are not in contradiction to his words, so it doesn't matter. The question, that second part of the question is irrelevant. In the account, or in the reference in Matthew, this is what we read. First of all, in starting in verse 23, this is to set up what Christ is saying. It says, "The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th, and last of all the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her." Now here's Christ's response. He says, "Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the Scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living." Okay, so it is claimed here that Christ is teaching that there is no marriage in heaven. But he's actually not saying that. There's a couple of things we need to note here. First, he says that in the resurrection, there is no marriage or giving in marriage. They do not marry nor give in marriage. Which means that when the resurrection comes, time is over. We don't have any more time after. Once you're resurrected, there is no more chance to be married. Marriage has to come before the resurrection, not during or after. Another thing to note is the very specific situation that the Sadducees are saying here. They say that there were with us 7 brethren. In other words, they're not addressing a hypothetical. They're speaking of an actual situation, an actual family that lived among the Sadduceans in Jerusalem, and they are asking Christ about that particular example. And Christ is addressing that particular example. He is saying that this family has not qualified for marriage in the eternities. Now, does that mean that none of them were sealed for an eternal marriage? Not necessarily, because the situation that is being addressed involves what is known in the Scriptures as a levirate marriage, or levirate marriage. And what this is, as it says, Moses said, if a man die without any children, his brother is to marry his wife, and the first son or first child that is born to the brother through the wife is counted as the original husband's child and bears the original husband's name to spread his posterity through the generations. So Christ could just be saying that a levirate marriage is not binding in the eternities, that only the first brother has any claim. So this specific passage cannot be used to establish whether marriage is in the eternities or is not, because the situation is too specific to make it a broad statement. So, turning to other passages in the Scriptures, we'll look at a few passages in the Bible that clearly state that marriage will be eternal and be in heaven. For instance, in the Old Testament, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 14, it states, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. So, if everything that God does stands forever, and God seals a marriage, then that marriage stands forever. It will be throughout the eternities. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11, it reads, Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. So you can't be in the Lord, or, in other words, you can't be in heaven without a companion, without either, a man has to have the female companion and the woman has to have the male companion. They are together in the Lord. This is again reemphasized in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. It says, Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So it is only together that the husband and wife become heirs of eternal life. We can also see in this, it says regarding marriage in more than one place, that what God has joined, let not man put asunder. We know Adam and Eve were married while still in the Garden of Eden, when they were still living in an eternal state. All these things show that marriage will continue after this life in heaven if we qualify to have that blessing in the celestial world.